getting the fishing up here. That'll give me some food. The next thing I'm probably going to need to do is put some housing up to get rid of all these horrible little shanty shacks down here. But we'll just see what this
His
mission
Majesty's
is.
military campaign is not going well. The Scots, with their fancy kilts, are rampaging through both poles unopposed. We need more undergarments, now!
Yes, you can never not have enough undergarments. But this is another reason why I didn't take the mandate extension, is that you get these other missions that will give you an extra 6 months. So if I'd taken that extra 12 months, I've already had another 6 months on top of that now, which I don't really need at the moment. It's only once you start getting down to less than 2 years or close to 12 months that you really want to take the mandate extensions, just as a point of safety. So they want me to do 3,000 wool. I've got my one ranch here. I can't do any of the research upgrades, so I'm going to leave that. I can put actually put a environmentalist in. I'm going to put the other environmentalist in here because I think this is where some of the pollution will be. Let's have a look here. Pollution. There does not appear to be any pollution at the moment. So that's quite good. So I might skip with the manager then. We've got the wharf up, which is great. I could put drift netting up, which will increase effectiveness but decrease the schools of fish faster. I don't want to do that, and not least until I can get the feeding pens out so they'll regrow. What I am going to do though is increase the budget for my dock, because when I do, the month's next ship drops to 4. So if I have it back at 3, I've got it at 6. So once every 4 months, 3 times a year, better than twice a year. I'm going to also increase the priority on this library because I want to get that up to make sure I start getting my research points, because then I can get the shovel and then it makes things a lot easier. So at the moment I'm on 949 for exports. That's really going quite slow. Ideally I want to get a second dock up and get some more items going. I can't put the reforestation on yet. I really want to get to World Wars so I can get that reforestation, so this will start to regrow a little bit. We've got 98 population now. Only got one Teamsters office. Generally you want to have at least 1 to every 100 citizens on the island. So at some point I'm going to drop a second one in, probably once I get the mines up, because I'll need to get them shipped down to the docks, and I'll probably put a second dock in here so that it's quicker for them to get from the mines. I'm going to put down another plantation now. I'd like to get something else I could possibly export. Tobacco there might be interesting. Cocoa's quite good there as well. Let's see what trade offers I've got before I actually plot it down. Pineapples is high. Sugar, logs. I've got one ship. I do actually have some sugar at the moment, don't I? I've got a banana, and there's my sugar plantation. So let's go and we'll actually pick up the sugar trade at this stage. And we'll take it with, who is it with? West India Company or the smugglers. West India Company is going to give me a little bit more money, so we'll go with them at this stage. But because there was that trade, for pineapples, also to the West India Company, I'm going to drop a pineapple plantation down there. I can't actually do it at the moment because I haven't got into the fog of war enough. So we'll go back and we'll do the cocoa or tobacco. Let's go with cocoa because the land looks a bit better for cocoa. I'm thinking about a third ranch here, although it's really going to suffer from that land, so I might leave it for now. The docks sort of do both of increasing the rate of what comes in and, in a way, increasing the amount of money you get, because obviously if they're coming in 3 times a year as opposed to 2, you're going to get more funds for it. But there are upgrades when you drop down the dry dock, which is under, is it under welfare? Where is it? No, economy. So when you drop down the dry dock, that gives you the option to get a second trade route for every dock that you have, and it also there's also some other upgrade you get with it. So once you get the dry docks down, the effectiveness of the docks really increases. So it's quite good to get the dry dock down as soon as you get it. But yeah, generally, if you do pay them more, you get a higher rate of effectiveness just based on the fact that the ships come in and out quicker.
Oh, Presidente, I forgot how slow these colonial ships are. Exporting goods will take forever.
Yep, and here's one of the reasons why that I was talking about putting down extra docks in that mission, because we want to export so much. We need to get some more docks down. So we get 30 illiterate colonists if we have 3 docks. So let's get some extra docks down then. I'm going to put one right next to the one that goes in, right here. Actually, the lighthouse is not in a great spot for that. I'll put it on the other side. I was watching someone else's Let's Play on this, and there was a theory that having the docks right next to each other like this slowed down the effectiveness of the ships. I don't know if that's actually the case, but generally I'll just put a little bit of a gap just to make it so that the ships can come in and out a bit easier. Again, I don't know if that's actually real, if it actually is the case, but better to be safe than sorry, I think. So we will put that one up, and then we'll throw the other dock. I just want to check where the wharfs were, because I don't want to put a dock down where the fishing is. So there's going to be fishing there, so a dock right next to it is okay. So right there should be fine. Join up for a road. We'll get the high construction on it as well. And then we'll keep going. Great, so I've got the library up now, which is wonderful. Means I get my research points. So it shouldn't be too long now until I get the shovel coming through. That'll allow me to build the mines, and we'll start our economy really picking up. I want to get that clinic in too, because my approval is terrible for healthcare, so I need to get my healthcare up. I've already got my religion coming up, but once I can get healthcare and entertainment slightly increasing, entertainment's already up quite a bit there, get them going, and that'll start picking up my approval just in case there's an election, which there may not be in this campaign mission because it's a pretty short one, I believe. So generally I'll ignore housing until I've got enough infrastructure in, because if they're unhappy with housing for me, that's fine, but the housing to plop down is pretty inefficient. I can use the $4,000 mansion for 4 families, $1,500 house for 4 families, or if I wait until we get to World Wars, the tenement is about 4,000 and holds 20 families, I think. So it's a much better, much more efficient way of housing. So I generally like to wait until that comes through before putting anything serious into housing. It is a little strange the first time you start talking into the monitor. But it's more like you're just narrating what you're doing. It's more just vocalizing your own internal thoughts. So I don't think it's necessarily weird, it's just different. And once you start doing it, it becomes less weird and becomes more natural. I think it's also good because it gives you a bit of skill in speaking out your own internal thoughts and putting them to words. Okay, so the second dock's nearly there. We're still only at 97 people. Can't do any upgrades there. Can I upgrade the llama farm? No. Can't upgrade the plantation. I think I need to wait until I get those in that research through. So now I've got my second dock. And again, if you can see, I've got only four people there now. It's taking 6 months till next ship. Put it up to full budget, and that'll give me 4 months to the next ship. It also increases the job quality and wealth
Great
provided to
jumping
the
llamas, Presidente.
employees.
I mean, Governor. A shipment of gold has arrived.
So the pirates keep sending me money on this mission, which is interesting. Yeah, so here it also improves the quality of the employees' lives, and that improves their perception of me as well, and they're being well paid, they can spend more money, they're more likely to be able to afford housing, so they're not going to live in shacks. So there's a bit of a flow-on effect from everything, not just increasing the production of the dock, you're also increasing everything else on the island.
Independence must be every Tropican's ultimate goal. But you can't expect us to fight a revolution on an empty stomach.
And again, here's another reason why I always put some of these things down, because you'll usually get a mission will say, have a grocer, have a clinic, have a library, and if you've already got it, it's just really quick, and you increase your revolutionary support, and it goes straight away. So this one should disappear straight away once we start moving.
Thanks to your efforts.
There we go.
The revolutionary movement is growing stronger.
And for this mission, it's probably not that important, but on some of the later ones where you need to have educated citizens for some of the more complex industries, these missions are really good because it's better than having to wait for everyone to go through the high school and then go through the college. So I'm going to take the educated citizens now, just for this one, because maybe there'll be use for them, but the other options aren't that interesting. I don't need more trade routes, and the Swiss bank account I think is one of the more pointless parts of the game. So now we do have this extra dock though. I can have a second trade route. We've got bananas, sugar, wool, tobacco. I'm already doing sugar. Did I drop down a tobacco farm here? No, I went with cocoa. Okay. So there is a decent tobacco trade. So I'm going to look at where I can put down a tobacco plantation. The best one is up the back here. But again, I've got that fog of war where I can't drop it that well, sorry. So what I'm going to do is send out my explorers up here. So that should clear that fog of war, and I should hopefully be able to build the tobacco
Our
plantation
research
up
team,
there.
that is to say me, discovered the shovel 40 times. If I find out who put it there, I will kill him. Anyway, I gave it to the miners so they can put it somewhere safe, like underground.
Excellent. So now we've got mines unlocked. So that means we can drop a mine up into the gold mine up here. It still says it's unexplored territory. Okay, so once those, once they go up the top here, I'm going to bring them back along the edge of the cliffside here, and so I can unlock these mines. Because once I get the mines coming through, that'll give me some excellent cash. The other thing to keep in mind is that the library, I've got 50 research points on this amount of budget. If I do increase it, I actually don't get any extra research points, so I'll generally leave that now. Sometimes you do get a manager that will increase your number of research points. I don't have that either, and there's more once you upgrade it as well, once you hit World Wars. So just to reduce some pollution, I'm going to put the environmentalist in there, and I'm going to save that magnate for the mines that come up. And I think that my pollution, I should have some now. There's a very small amount of pollution in the middle here. Nothing that much. I haven't really got any really big producing, pollution producing buildings at the moment. Let's speed this up so these explorers get up the top here. Okay, so I should be able to put that tobacco plantation in now. Great. We'll drop that road in as well. And I might actually bring a road across here. So one of the other things I like to do is to make sure I've got my roads set up so that there's not a lot of congestion getting down to the docks, because again, on the previous island I was running, there was only one central route